11 years ago, something happened to me that I'm still trying to make sense of today. It was an experience that reaffirmed my belief in the afterlife, but also cast doubt on what I considered to be the construct of reality. I was a student, DJ, and party animal, living in a dirty, damp, cold student flat. My skin was red raw with eczema from living there, not eating right, stress, working too hard, and partying too hard. Following a filming trip to Spain, where I'd been wrapped up in multiple layers in 30-degree heat, I got a huge lump in my groin. I went to the club, the Cooperage, to see my mates DJ. Before I'd even had a drink, I started to feel cold and ill. My friends covered me in coats, so I decided to go home and sleep it off. The next day, I woke up and collapsed in the bathroom, just about having the energy to call an ambulance. The journey was hazy and I blacked out. I'm not sure how much time passed, but the next thing I knew, I was on a river in an Olympic-style rowing boat. It was sunny and warm. But it had been February. How was this possible? In front of me was a man in a silver suit. It looked like fish scales, the light glinting off it, and the razor silver hurting my eyes. We floated gently, and he didn't answer any of my questions to who he was or how I got there, nor did he turn around to reveal his face. I didn't look to see who was powering the boat, as neither of us had oars. We floated gently between buoys, and the current started to speed up. As we got closer to what I thought was Newcastle, I saw a huge bridge made from chains. The right of the bridge ascended into clouds. He turned and said, "This is our monument, the Link Bridge." On the left of the bank there were broken factories, a rusted war tank and a huge corkscrew grinding rubbish into the water. We glided to the corkscrew and stood behind it. The man passed me an action figure and told me to throw it in. Out came the right leg, the same leg where I had the lump. As I looked at him, he commanded me to go into a rusty ship under the bridge. The ship was listing on one side like it was almost ready to fall into the water. As I walked into the main hall of the bridge, I could smell sulphur, like somebody burning a million matches. There stood a tall gypsy woman with black hair and green eyes. She wore a red corset and black leather trousers. She summoned me towards her, and I was entranced, like my feet were on a conveyor belt. She offered me a choice, that I could return to my life, but I would have to make a sacrifice, or I could go on a journey with her. When I refused both options, she whipped me on the chin with a bullwhip. I started to run down the corridors of the ship. The silver light began to fade, and rotting corpses like ghouls chased me. It started to get really hot in there, almost stifling me, taking my breath away, the darkness closing in around me. As my head turned, I saw through a round window that the man in silver was on a floating platform disappearing into the mist of the river. I eventually found an exit and fell down the gangway into the water. The water was bubbling around me, boiling the flesh from my legs to my knees. From the mist behind me on the riverbank, I heard someone call, "Duane! Duane!" I jolted back into my body. There I was in a hospital room, a medical team over me, a woman standing there with a defibrillator, surrounded by plastic sheets like something from E.T. The medical team wearing only what I can describe as a hazmat suit. In my arms were IV drips. My perception of time has only been what felt like 20 minutes. When I asked, "How long have I been here?" they said, "You've been in here 12 hours, and that had gone flatline just a few minutes ago." Now people tell me, "Duane, it was just a dream." Now I dream a lot, and never ever have I experienced smells or temperature changes, nor have I ever been able to describe every last detail of the environment in any dream before this. Over the years of looking into this and doing research, I've heard others describe the same things: the silver fading away, the light disappearing, the mist and the soul carrier. It wasn't until I watched a series called The OA that I felt compelled to make this video and open up further, as the series describes many of the things that I felt in my own experience. In the series, they pick up the sound of Saturn in the main character's near-death experience, which brought back memories that I too heard that noise, but I've never been able to describe what it was. Don't get me wrong, I'm spiritual, but in no way do I believe in God at all. If I had to put it into a religious context, I'd say this was purgatory. In 2017, when I started cycling, I went along the river on the north side through a place called Newburn. There something stopped me in my tracks next to the rowing club. It looks like where my journey started, and I was a little bit freaked out to say the least, as I'd never been there before. Let me know what you think. What did I experience? Is this life between worlds? Is it proof of the afterlife? Well, I guess I'll never know until I die next time, will I? Thank you very much for listening.